because, the other ones are kind of spread out in certain buildings there.
Yes, honestly, I feel like the hunter is being put at a very difficult situation, because if he goes and chases the dancer will be going into a graveyard, I believe, and if he goes for antiquarian, he would be like left with 3 survivors decoding like full speed. And right now we are going into the game. What do we have here, Lychee?
Right, we do see that female dancer here appears to be the first target for Moru's breaking wheel. So female dancer here already placing down the boxes and forcing the breaking wheel to change back into wheel form as they play around this area here. There is a window left for female dancer to continue to play around this area. We do see that she has 1 spike on her already, but was able to place down another box. Unfortunately, did get another spike here. So breaking wheel here, adding on the spikes fairly quickly, but does have to waste time breaking these boxes here, which could allow female dancer to transition to a place with some fresh pallets as well. We do see that Hollow the Antiquarian here actually may be coming in for some early support. Interesting to see the Antiquarian come in here fairly early on, but maybe forcing the breaking wheel to change back into wheel, but no, he is going to try to catch up. Does have blink on as a part of his arsenal here, but able to use that snap, actually not the snap, the trap there to trap the dancer here and being able to save the blink. Does have to watch out a little bit for the Antiquarian here, Marks. So Flywheel being used here to avoid that basic hit, and we just see Moru is going to continue to try to avoid the Antiquarian as he picks up this female dancer.
Wow, very, very good trap from the Poland side here, and not to mention Hollow's amazing use of Flywheel nullifying that hit. It was all very well done because Moru was using a charge attack, but Hollow still being patient, waiting for the hunter to get the hit, and right now using a snap to get the Antiquarian to 25% health, and right now getting 1 hit from the mercenary, and I think Antiquarian will be going in for a hit. Nope, not going for a hit, going up to wheel form and continuing the chase on the dancer, I suppose. Yes.
Yep, and we do see the Flywheel being used by the dancer here, but does get chipped once by the breaking wheel already. Antiquarian continuing to stay in this area here just to provide additional support. Could be useful for support, but again, that's 1 last survivor there decoding. And breaking wheel does have blink. Oh, the blink here results in a missed hit, unfortunately for Moru. So he is actually forced to change back into the wheel form to continue chasing these 2 survivors here, and is going to try to see if he can get 2 for 1 here as he wheels into both the dancer and the Antiquarian, adding additional spikes here. Does change back to the human form so that he can use the staff. Is at full presence now, so has that full range of abilities as the breaking wheel here, and gets that female dancer on the second chair. We do see 3 ciphers here remaining for the survivors to pop. Marks, what do you think this is looking like so far? How do you feel?
I feel like although the blink failed, but then the Poland was able to still get the dancer in time. But then, nevertheless, the decoding progress has already been that mistake there bought a lot of time for the survivors. And right now, the survivors, although 3 ciphers, I think all ciphers should be quite a lot. We see 1 cipher having 35% progress here, and 1 having 88, I believe. So right now, the survivor, the decoding progress is quite a lot actually, and we will see what the Antiquarian has to offer here, because it all depends on the Antiquarian's performance on how she can harass the... Wow! Using the stake to nullify the AoE damage from the Poland. Very good job, but still getting a terror shock. Wow, Lychee, this is looking very good for the hunter here.
Yes, and we do see the Antiquarian, unfortunately got trapped there by the breaking wheel, placing a very good trap in that narrow area there. So was able to get the female dancer on the chair and eliminated with the Antiquarian being down. But actually the trump card, the trait swap, coming in here to change into the peepers and just dropping the peeper by the Antiquarian to slow down decoding, as this breaking wheel tries to go pressure to other survivors, but ultimately in the end decides to chair that Antiquarian. So breaking wheel here seamlessly grabs the second survivor and puts the second survivor on the chair here. The other survivors are both injured and are quite spread out from each other, so this could be potentially a bit of a difficult situation here. We do see Mercenary coming in here, so if Moru decides to stray pretty far away, that does give the option to rescue, and we do see that happening here with Moru continuing to go after these survivors here who are forced to utilize every tool in their kit to do their best they can to avoid the breaking wheel and spread out his attention here, Marks.
Wow, and right now we are seeing that Moru is going back to chase on this Postman here, but Postman having a flywheel, there is a potential for Moru to miss the snap, but not going back to wheel form. I feel like this is looking pretty bad for the survivors here, because the hunter can just keep using his high mobility to track down the survivors, and the survivors all being in such bad condition, it will be very hard for the survivors to regain back. Oh, wow, dodging that stick hit from the antiquarian and getting the hit. Now that is what I call mind game here, ladies and gentlemen. Very good job from Moru's side here.
Yeah, that was quite an interesting play. We saw the antiquarian actually, I believe, destroyed one of the traps there by the breaking wheel with her skill there, but ultimately was put on the chair by the breaking wheel, who has now turned his attention over to this cipher being decoded by the postman here. So the postman does have quite a bit of spikes, but unable to utilize that flywheel to dodge that snap here, and goes right down on the train tracks. Moru placing these peepers down to slow down the healing as well as slow down the cipher progress nearby. Meanwhile, we do see that Antiquarian and Mercenary are the ones alive. Antiquarian just having run for her life, while Mercenary here being the one standing, does have elbow pads left to work with, so is able to dodge this hit for now. Is going to have to try to buy as much time as possible for the postman to heal up, but going down right here due to a very well-placed trap by Moru's breaking wheel. Indeed, Moru definitely deserves that title of being known as one of the best breaking wheels in the region. Postman here now getting up, and Moru is just going to go after him, avoiding that dog by the postman here, and closing in distance as much as possible, mind gaming around these pallets, but just goes straight for that hit and downs the postman near Antiquarian Cipher, actually, Marks. This is quite interesting now.
Yes, and right now with with Postman self-heal being used up, and Mercenary having very slow in herself, like in his self-heal, I feel like this is looking very good for the hunter, and most probably it would be a tie and above, leaning on towards the win situation, I believe. And right now, all three survivors are down, Lychee. Very good job from the hunter side here, but Mercenary still going up, not giving up any hope here, and going back. I suppose that he's gonna heal up the postman, but having the insolence, that means that the healing speed will be slow. Checking if the cipher is being decoded or not, going back to the survivors right now, Lychee.
Yes, definitely, and recognizing that the ciphers are not being worked on, just going back around to find whichever survivors he can. At this point, both survivors, neither of them have self-heal, have exit path left. Mercenary does have one more elbow pad to work with, but this pallet here is already destroyed, so there's only so far that he can go before Moru catches up to the Mercenary here. Postman there trying his best to decode with a decoding letter on that other cipher, but I don't think he's able to pop it so far. We'll see if Poland decide to pick up the Merc. Will he chair the Mercenary? Does decide to chair the Mercenary, or actually no, drops the Mercenary, it looks like. Postman there was able to pop that cipher and restore himself to full health at least. Moru here does not have detention, so this does give the Postman a little bit of an opportunity to try to buy some time here, but by dropping the Mercenary and not sharing the Mercenary, Moru here actually just basically needs to get the postman down before the Mercenary bleeds out, which is going to take quite a while. So definitely going to be a really hard situation for the postman to try to kite all the way until the Mercenary bleeds out here.
Yes, honestly, I feel like a mistake here from the survivor. The idea is you either like pop the cipher after the Mercenary's been chat so that you have a chance to go for the dungeon, or you don't pop at all and wait for the Poland to put down and pop the ciphers all at once to like ensure two people can stand up at the same time. But no, like popping the cipher immediately, and right now like Poland will be in a very optimal position to chase this postman right here, because Mercenary has already used his self-heal. So right now Moru has no stress into catching this postman. He could just take all the time he wants, and this would be GG for TNG side already, because MP here is securing the 4 kill, Lychee.
Yes, Definitely. Postman is making quite a valiant effort to kite this out. We see that 3 spikes have already been applied to the Postman, and Moru here, all he needs to do is to give Postman that final blow. As they close in here, Flywheel being used actually very well by the Postman there to dodge that regular hit. But we do see there that they're just going to continue to mind game around this 11 pallet area. Moru here has had some pretty good trap throws so far, but was unable to do so this time, but finally downs the Postman right here near that S pallet cipher. And with the survivors not having any self-heal left, Postman's just going to be picked up and chaired, and this is definitely looking very much like a 4-kill secured for the breaking wheel of Moru here. We do see Mercenary here is making that effort to crawl, but in the end, survivors surrender here. So congratulations to Moru here from MP being able to utilize that breaking wheel and play that breaking wheel so well here. I feel like those controls, I was just amazed the whole time, especially on that second story there, so close to the edge. Moru was able to control that breaking wheel so that the breaking wheel wasn't able to fall off. So very impressive here, but